Hello, good morning and welcome to the AM News with me, Mapito Sibiri. In our first story, Member of Parliament for Byum, Kofi Adams, is threatening to haul before Parliament Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensa, to answer questions over the delay in the creation of a constituency for electorates in the Guan areas. According to him, the absence of an MP in the area has piled pressure on him, explaining he's been forced to attend to the needs of electorates in that affected areas. Speaking to Joy News, the former national organizer of the NDC asked the EC to immediately draft a CI to guide the creation of a new constituency for electorates in the Guan areas.
Say that the delay is unfortunate, because this is something that the Electoral Commission should have speedily acted, because they were the ones who wrote the letter indicating that the area that now forms the Guan district would not take part in the election of a member of parliament on the 7th of December 2020. That letter came out the night of 5th December, after they have packed voting material, including parliamentary ballot papers, in the ballot boxes. So the district electoral officer forced open the ballot boxes and removed the parliamentary ballot papers from the box. That was what happened. So from then till now, they should have taken the necessary step to bring a CI before this parliament to create a constituency. Then the decision as to what happens thereafter will be taken by all of us, whether because they did not take part in electing a member of parliament, they will be given the opportunity to elect one who will join this 8th parliament, or they are now assured that they have a constituency and that come 2024, they will fully participate. Then that decision can be taken. But this continuous delay by the Electoral Commission is unfair to the people of Guan District. It's unfair to Ghanaians who find themselves in that area and every other person who must be represented. It is putting pressure on me as a member of parliament for Byum, who have to attend to some needs in that area.
Honourable, this is not the first time I've heard you make this pronouncement, and you're a member of parliament. Is there a possibility that you trigger some tools available to get the chair of the EC to brief the House on the reason for the delay?
Well, that's the next action that I want to look at. I love to engage and do a lot of behind-the-scenes activities. I will continue to do that if I get no indication that they will want to fulfill that by the next meeting. Then I would have to use other means to bring them to come and answer in a way to Parliament why the continuous delay.
Meanwhile, Parliament on Wednesday was forced to adjourn abruptly because members present did not form a quorum to transact business. Member of Parliament for Adaklu, Kwame Agboza, first raised the concern, but his colleagues on the Majority Caucus objected it. Deputy Majority Leader Afenyo Marking argued that some members are involved in committee meetings and, by extension, engaged in parliamentary business. Listen to the debates on the floor.
And act in the interest of the nation, where we know that members can be unavoidably absent in the chamber, but will be carrying out parliamentary duty. This morning, for instance, the Committee of Defense and Interior members were at National Security. Subsidiary legislation has been settled. All I'm trying to say is that if we assume quorum to be suddenly arising, then we will be ambushing our own bona fides as members of parliament in this chamber.
It's this same house that made a rule that committee sittings take place after adjournment. So it's either we are saying committee sittings take place after adjournment or not. But currently, the rule is that committee sittings are supposed to take place after adjournment. Mr. Speaker, putting all these things together, I want my colleague also to be aware that since Parliament resumed, we've never had quorum at the start, most of the time. Yet we continue to work in cooperation.
Shakespeare says in Macbeth, there is no art to find the mind's construction in the face. Kwame, is it the case? I don't know your mind. I don't know what is in there. But Kwame, I am unable to tell your mind's construction in your handsome face. Is there anything ulterior other than what you are doing?
Rules. We all know what is right. And the lesson from today, which must be going into tomorrow and subsequently, is to ensure, or must lead to ensuring, that honorable colleagues come to the House punctually and to conduct business. Based on that, Mr. Speaker, I rise under the authority given to members of Parliament under Order 41(1)(a) of our standing orders, which is express that at any time prior to 3 minutes before the stated time for concluding a sitting, a member may move for the adjournment of the House. Based on Order 41(1)(a), I respectfully ask, Mr. Speaker, that proceedings be adjourned to tomorrow.
But Second Deputy Speaker Andrew Asiama, after listening to the debate, resolved to adjourn proceedings abruptly. He described the absence of the MPs as embarrassing.
We cannot suspend the House again. It's past 2, so I'll go ahead to adjourn the House to tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the forenoon. Honorable members, I think this House is embarrassed. The cameras are on us. We deliberately suspended the House for 1 hour just to make sure you get the numbers. Yet, we couldn't make out the numbers. I've counted and counted and counted and counted. You still have not made the numbers. Please, let's advise ourselves. The House stands adjourned.
Away from that, the government's digitalization agenda has necessitated the launch of several web and mobile applications aimed at making Ghana a beacon of digital innovation. Joy News conducted a survey from January 2021 to October 2021 on 7 apps created by state institutions for the Ghanaian public. Now, the survey established that the apps are performing below expectations. Lava FM's Chrissy Deborah has more in this report.
The electricity app, ECG app, at first it was working perfectly, but lately it has not been working.
Okay, I know the GPS. They advertised this, I found out. I used to find my house digital address and I downloaded it. I deleted it after.
Okay, I've heard about the GPS, but I heard it from a friend, but I've never used it before. I don't know what it says. And I don't know what it is used for. Like, I'm not familiar with it, but then I've heard about it.
Our survey saw the Ghana Post GPS come tops with more than 1 million downloads, followed by the ECG Power with half the number. Ghana Library gleaned more than 10,000 downloads. Citizens Eye, Ghana Water Company Limited electronic billing app, and Ghana.gov had downloads of 1,000, 500 and 100 respectively. We've also been analyzing the reviews of the selected apps, looking at both negative and positive comments, as well as the likes and the comments. The Ghana Post GPS recorded 869 comments and likes, with all of them being negative. We found complaints of app crashing during address saving and registration confirmation code problems that had persisted since 2017. The ECG Power recorded 2,045 comments and likes. The positive ones sadly managed 3.5% of this number. The Ghana Water Company electronic billing app garnered 2 comments and likes. Ghana PAYE was impressive with 100% positive comments, and Ghana Library made away with 73% positive comments. But their combined reviews, which couldn't even reach 50, wasn't enough to make practical analysis. Citizens Eye, GWCL electronic billing app, and Ghana.gov, however, recorded 0 reviews.
So I actually downloaded, for the ECG app, I have downloaded it for some time now. I think about 2 months ago, but after registration, I've never been able to use it. Anytime I try to use it after inputting the Momo details and everything, it gets back to me with an error. And I remember the day it happened, the first time I tried to, I called customer care and they said it is a known issue with Kumasi, but then still I don't get the thing to work. Okay. And that's for the ECG app. For the GPS, I actually tried downloading it yesterday. One thing I've realized that after installing the app, the GPS Ghana Post app, every time the GPS changes, you can be sitting at one place and the GPS will change. The signals are not consistent, and for each of those times, you kind of get a different house number, okay? And I also keep getting notification from Haptel that don't share your code, so the code keeps changing and all that. So I went outside and also tried to do it under open air, because GPS signals are usually good under open air. And still, even standing at the same place, I kept getting different house numbers.
If I could just log into a web platform and then just right away pick my location and then move on, it's doable. But then if I deny access to my location and then you try to restart the app, loop it up for me, I get frustrated and then I just uninstall it. And I don't do that again. So if, just like how Uber applications work, you can literally deny your location access, and then when you want to proceed to order for anything at all, you can just pick where you want to go to and then where you are, and then the system will still work perfectly for you.
So when the ECG app was developed, I was really happy about it, because the stress we go through to acquire our prepaid credits was about to go off. It started well. Later we had one or two issues. When you're even trying to connect, it tells you you don't have internet access, whilst you may. At times such messages does not mean you don't really have internet access. But at times you might have internet access, but the strength of your internet connectivity might be very down. Other situations too, you might have situations where the server might not really be working and might be giving you that challenges. As I said, always when there is a link to customers for them to send reviews on apps, it's going to help you to better the performance of that software. The ECG system is not a bad system. I believe if they review it, it's really going to solve the issue they intended solving with it. Once I was facing challenges, I didn't move on with it. I had to delete it because I needed some space on mine. That is how software users do see softwares. If it becomes a white elephant on their devices, they'll really delete it. Don't go ahead to support, because one, they never paid money to acquire that software. It was a software developed for them for free. So they won't really put in much effort if it's giving them an issue.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
A task force has been formed to support the Food and Drugs Authority to fight against tobacco use in the northern region. The team will also share intelligence on tobacco control. Correspondent Martina Bugri has this report after members were trained on enforcement of tobacco regulation.
Estimated globally that more than 8 million people are killed annually due to tobacco use. In Ghana, according to Tobacco Atlas Ghana, over 807,600 people smoke cigarettes and other tobacco products. 75 men die weekly through smoking and the use of tobacco and its products. It is against this backdrop that the Food and Drugs Authority is intensifying its campaign against tobacco use. Head of Tobacco and Substance of Abuse Department at the Food and Drugs Authority, Dr. Mrs. Olivia Boatin, in an interview, said the northern region continues to experience high prevalence of tobacco use.
Especially for the snuff or the dry leaves, we found higher percentages in this region. And so in the communities, our officers here are working in the communities to educate our folks, especially those who cannot read and write, because what we have for the illicit one or the commercial quantities have graphic health warnings to tell them that these are dangerous when you smoke. But for the cultivated or the dry leaves that they just snuff or put under their tongue, it doesn't have these pictures. So actively we are engaging the communities to let them know that even though you are not, it's not just the smoke that is dangerous and contain the nicotine that is very addictive and causes all the cancers we are talking about. Even the leaves, when dried and chewed, are as equally dangerous to your health, just like the combustible one.
She said even though Ghana has chalked some successes in the fight against tobacco use, there are new emerging trends like the use of shisha.
We've had, to a large extent, successes in ensuring that there's absolute bans of tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship. So you do not see giant billboards with tobacco ads. You do not see sponsorship with beauty pageants, all those ones. To a large extent, the registration, the regulation to ensure there's illicit tobacco trades are to a minimal level. We've been able to do that. But there are a few challenges, yes, because of the emerging trends that are coming up. So now we are having shisha to deal with.
Dr. Mrs. Boateng outlined some of the roles the task force will play.
We realize that it is multifaceted. If we get national security, NIB, GRA, the police to assist us, share intelligence, they should see tobacco control, non-compliance, and come to our aid. Basically, that's what this whole workshop is about. We've done several ones, but this one is a regional tour to train all other enforcement on tobacco regulation so that their roles can be spelled out. So at this workshop, we've done a work plan, an enforcement plan, and all other agencies will inculcated in the plan, which we will share with them. There will be regular meetings, make updates, they'll give updates on what as a region they've been able to achieve.
That's it for the AM News. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Mapisa CBD. The AM Show continues.